Hello everyone and welcome to the Football Bets For You podcast, episode number 20 of season 3. This week we are joined by Paddy.
Hello.
Connor.
How's it going?
Water.
How are we?
And Mr. Graham Lawler is back. Lads, we're going to be looking at the fixtures for the weekend. So we're going to start on Saturday and go up to... We were talking about this earlier about kind of just double checking on the two City games because it goes from Monday to Tuesday. There's not really much break going all the way up to Thursday, so we might just give a quick score prediction on the other City games. So we might just have a quick look at that. We're going to have Melons Moan, which Melon obviously isn't here because he's at the bottom.
He's off moaning.
Yeah, he's off moaning. He's off moaning about the debate we had on Tuesday night during the match. So yeah, we have that. Connor, you'll update us on your crypto, and then we'll have the bets and the tips for everyone. So, lads, we're going to move into the games. But just before I do, lads, I have one quick shout out to give. So, as you can see, I'm wearing the new Football Bets For You t-shirt. So MCC Custom 72 have sent us out some custom-made t-shirts for the podcast. So it has the Football Bets For You logo on it there with the Twitch and Facebook, and
you have two and we have none.
Yeah, so they've actually sent us out 4 of them. So I'm obviously wearing my own one, and then they've sent out 3 of them. So there's 6 of us on the podcast, so you can fight them out, lads. But Paddy, you're about 7 foot tall, so they won't fit you. You're in England, so that's a little bit awkward. So I think
that narrows it down, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think by default, Connor, Water, and Melon will be getting one. So a big shout out to MC Custom 72. That's a handle that I have on the screen there for Instagram. So they do all custom made t-shirts. So if anybody's looking for anything for the Stags or something like that,
quality.
Yeah, it's quality. Yeah, the actual quality of it is because I actually texted him when he sent me out to make sure that he got them. I actually mentioned it to him about the quality, and he goes, "Yeah, they actually had a premium T-shirt." So
pretty good.
Yeah, they are good. They're a good print as well. They're actually the little symbols on it.
Might buy myself a podcast from seeing as I'm not getting one.
Yeah, they are for sale. You know, you can't get them. The Football Bets For You merch is coming out next on. Look, a big shout out to MC Custom 72. Like I said, give them a follow on YouTube or Instagram. I will be putting their page up on the story and stuff like that, and then you can have just a direct link onto it. So yeah, shout out to them. So lads, we're going to move on to the first thing this week, and we're going to be looking at the matches, obviously. So the first match that we have is Manchester City and West Ham, lads. It's 2-9 for City, 21-4 for the draw, and 12-1 for West Ham, lads. 12-1 for West Ham, a team that are absolutely flying under David Moyes. Now, obviously City have stupid amount of wins. Was it 17 or something at this stage, or maybe even 18? But let's be honest, 12-1 for a decent West Ham isn't a bad shout. So, Lala, what do you reckon on this one? Do you reckon this is going to be just a City whitewash again, or do you reckon West Ham will put it up to them?
The form City are on at the minute, you just don't see anybody stopping them, really.
Yeah.
But that price for West Ham is worth the punt. They're in good form. And the last time they played earlier on the season.
Oh.
We'll never know what happened the last time.
What happened?
It's going to last, doesn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, you just went there, Lala.
Water, this is what it's like on the other side. Just so you know.
Yeah. So go on, sorry, go again. Sorry,
it's nice to be on that other side.
Where was it?
You literally just went and then stopped. So you're gonna
You
start.
were saying what happened the last time they met.
Yeah.
Great. What did it say?
You had this rehearsed.
What happened?
It's got off script.
Under an hour. Come on, under.
Yeah, come on, man. This is under an hour. Lord, come on.
Twice today. This happened to me when I was teaching earlier as well. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I just don't see anyone beating City at the minute, but they're on flying form. But at 12-1, West Ham's worth a punt anyway, sticking a few quid on them.
Yeah.
The last time they played earlier on the year, it was a 1-1 draw. I know City have just ramped up in terms of performances since then. I reckon City will come out on top, but West Ham are a good bet anyway, just to try something on.
Yeah. Paddy, what do you reckon on this one? Do you reckon same kind of thing?
I think Moyes being, one of the best Premier League managers in the Premier League era. I'll say again.
What's your least favourite?
Paddy's most hated manager, and then all of a sudden, best ever.
I think it's more hopeful, but I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
Right.
Because I think City have been on a great run as well, but obviously I can't see City being beaten. So at a stretch,
I think this is going to be a common trend with you that you're going to just keep going against City till they lose, aren't you? And then you're going to
eventually, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I've said it before.
Anna, what do you reckon on this? Is the same thing? Like,
yeah, I can see it being a tight enough game, but I don't think West Ham are going to be the team to derail City. I said it before. I think the team that are going to take them off are either going to be like one of those derby games, so the likes of obviously United or one of those bigger teams, or a team like Burnley who are going to sit back in and play for a 0-0 or a 1-1 draw. I think West Ham are playing a little bit more expansive at the moment, which I think City will take advantage of. So yeah, I'd sell back City on this.
Do you reckon they're going to change their game plan because of playing against City, or do you reckon they'll Moyes just say, no, look, it's working for us, we just keep going with it?
I don't. Moyes hasn't been the best to adapt in that style so far, and those teams that take advantage of those fast breaks and that expansive football, they haven't been playing great this season. When they came up against Liverpool, they should have changed the game plan to sit in a little bit more, a bank of 4 and a bank of 5. They didn't. They tried to play expansive against Liverpool. Liverpool broke them down. They had 3 chances and scored 3 goals. They didn't play very well, but that's all they needed. And I can see that being kind of something similar to City. They're going to try to expand a little bit too much, and City are going to play on the counter. Yeah,
what do you reckon on this one? Same type of thing with City going on, kind of getting the win on this one?
Yeah, I'd be the same as Paddy. I'd be hopeful for West Ham to grab a point, but I just don't see it happening. Think about it. You have Declan Rice going up against De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and all these players. Like, it's City are a different level above everyone right now.
Doggin.
Yeah, and Doggin. Don't forget about
Doggin. Can't forget about Doggin. Lads, we're going to get score predictions on you. So, Paddy, you've given me a 1-1 draw. So, can I get a goal scorer of you?
Messi Lingard.
Lingard. Lawler?
I'd be sick if Lingard scores. I hope that doesn't. I can't stand anything else.
Water will show you. Water does it.
Gone.
Yeah. No, what were you saying there? Sorry, what's gone?
Oh, he's gone again.
It's gone. Oh.
He's having a mare.
Water's loving it. Yes. What's going on?
Don't pay for good broadband.
I'll go for I'm gonna go for. Wait, can we all do it together? 3, 2, 1.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. No, I don't have a clue what was going on.
No, I go for 2-1 City with Soucek to score.
That's not like you. Paddy, I already got yours. Connor.
3-1 City and Bernardo Silva.
Nice one. I've gone with a 3-1 win for City, and I've gone with Raheem Sterling to score. Lads, we'll move on to the next one. West Brom and Brighton. We won't spend too long on this one. It's a bit of a shit game. I'll give you the prices. So we have West Brom at 16-5. The draw is 12-5, and Brighton are 10-11. Connor, what do you reckon on the price on Brighton here? 10 to 11. Not a huge price. I would like to see maybe 6 to 5 or even evens on this. Like, I don't know what to do. Make of this price.
It's a weird one when you look at it in the context of the table and like recent form. But if you look at the other way, it's that relegation battle as well. I don't think that the bookies are going to give much more on a Brighton win. I think they fancy them. I think Brighton might see it as the game that won't make them safe, but it'll definitely pull them away from Fulham anyway.
Yeah.
And make it more of a battle between Newcastle and Fulham than having them in it as well. So I think Brighton see this as a must win, as much as obviously West Brom do to try to get out of it. I think West Brom are gone anyway, and it's probably the feeling around the dressing room. So I would have expected 11 to 10 maybe, but it's not a bad price for the 3 o'clock accumulator.
Yeah. And score prediction on it?
I'm going to go 2-0 Brighton, and I'm going to go with Welbeck to score.
Nice one. Lala, we'll just jump back to you there real quick just to get a score prediction on you on the last match, City and West Ham.
I'm going to go 3-1 City.
All right. And scorer?
De Bruyne.
Brian, nice one. Is De Bruyne back from injury fully? Is he? I think I've seen him coming on the weekend. Yeah, so I was interested to see. Like, it's ridiculous how deep the squad is. Sorry, we'll go back on to West Brom. Yeah, so what do you reckon on this, and then West Brom and Brighton? Same thing as Connor. Pretty similar opinion on it. Like,
no,
yeah, I'd say Brighton will just edge it, I guess.
His internet's going now as well.
This is my part, Connor.
Yeah.
No, Brighton will just edge this. I'm going to go for 2-1 with Mopay to score for Brighton.
Nice one. Paddy, what do you think?
Exciting one now, 0-0. I'm going to go for it.
You going to Lola, yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting. Lola, what do you reckon?
I'm going to say 1-1. It's I don't see it being very exciting. I'm going to go with Patrick on this one. That's 3 of the last 4 have been draws, 2 of them 0-0s. So I don't anticipate this being any better.
Yeah. And a goal scorer?
Well, I'll go Trossard.
Trossard. Right, nice one. Lads, I've gone with a 1-1 draw, and I've gone with Veltman to score. I just think because he got a goal there in the last game, so I think he might be. The option this week. Lads, we're going to move on to the next game, Villa and Leeds. So we've gone with a 6-5. Sorry, we're looking at 6-5 for Leeds. We've gone with a 13-5 draw. That's what we're talking about. The draw is 13-5 and Villa is 2-1. Sorry, got distracted there.
Sure.
Yeah. So, Paddy, what do you reckon of this one? Do you think there'll be goals in this one? I think there might be a few. Obviously, Leeds kind of conceded.
It's a good game, actually.
Yeah.
Although Villa have dropped off massively compared to what they were playing like at the start of the season. They really are. Like, they were playing some great stuff, and the results just haven't been going their way. Leeds had a good result in the last game. I think it'll be another good game. Leeds seem to be, after 1 or 2 bad results, have kind of picked up a bit again. But again, they're so inconsistent. You just wouldn't know with them. But good game, and anyway, it's said to be a few goals in it anyway.
I'll get a score prediction off you there, Paddy. So we're going to try to keep this one right now.
I'm going to go with 2-1 to Leeds and Bamford for scorer.
Nice one. What do you reckon on this one?
I'd say goals. I'm not going to go goals like I did with the Wolves game, because it ended up being just a 1-0.
Yeah.
The keeper causing the howler the last time. So I think there will be goals, but I'm going to go 2-2 draw. Just before
we move on there, Paddy, what the fuck are you drinking there?
Yeah.
Or
what is that?
What's
What's the thing on it?
What thing?
The lid.
This? Oh, it's a lid.
Oh, it's a lid. Sorry, it looked like it was attached to the bottle when you lifted it up.
No, but sometimes when I'm in bed, I go like that, it clunks me in the head, and it's fucking sore as well because it's made of steel.
Oh, it looked like a bong or something like that. I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what was going on. Laura,
trying to get a certain kind of sponsorship.
I'm glad you asked the question. I've been staring at it every time we lift it up. I think there's going to be goals, but like Villa have dropped off massively. I don't know where the supply is going to go if Grealish isn't back. Barkley's just been off the boil altogether. He's getting a lot of stick in the press as well. So who's going to really supply Ollie Watkins up top? I think Leeds will come out on top, and I'm going to say 3-1 Leeds as well. Rafinha.
3-1 Leeds with Rafinha. Right, nice one. Conor, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it really comes down to if Grealish is fit. I saw Bielsa came out today and said that he wants Grealish to be fit because it'll provide some kind of spark for Leeds, which is absolutely bizarre.
Does that work?
I don't think. No, it doesn't work. No,
I want Grealish to be fit. Okay.
I want their best player to be fit just so my team plays better. Doesn't work. But another big injury for the weekend is obviously Koch. They left Koch out for the weekend.
None worse than injured Koch.
Okay.
He's been limping all weekend. So he's out. Rodrigo's still out. A couple of injuries for Leeds. Again, I can see goals, but I can see it being a draw instead. I'm going to go with 2-2 draw, and I'm going to go with Tyler Roberts.
Nice one. Lads, I've gone with a 2-2 draw as well. So I think we're all looking at draws.
Yeah, 3 of us had 2-2.
Yeah, so I have 2-2 as well. So I've gone with Rafinha as well. I think he's been playing pretty well lately. So I think he might get on the score sheet. So lads, we're going to move on to the next one here. Is Wolves and Newcastle. So Newcastle are 5-2. The draw is 11-5, and Wolves are 23-20. Conor, I'll come to you first on this one. What do you make of this match? Newcastle, look, they're really struggling. The scenario we were talking about last week happened where they lost and Fulham won, and now they're really, really in danger.
Shit.
5-2 was a massive price for a team that really badly need to win. Although they haven't been playing well, they haven't been great. That can always kind of spur them on when that type of thing happens and you get so close to the relegation battle. That can give you a bit of a kick up the arse. And 5-2 at home is not a bad price here, but against a decent enough Wolves team. What do you make in this one?
Yeah, if you would have said this maybe about 4 or 5 weeks ago, you would have thought Newcastle were a great price. But I think Wolves are coming into a bit of form at the moment, off the back of kind of 3 or 4 good results. I still don't think they're scoring enough goals. And, well, obviously Newcastle aren't really either. And they're conceding a lot of goals. I think it comes down to the fact where I think they're going to nullify each other for the majority of the game. I've actually gone with a 0-0 on this. I can see Wolves being pretty content sitting back. Newcastle trying to break them down, but I don't think they have the firepower. Missing Callum Wilson, obviously, we talked about it before. It's a huge part of what they were doing for the first half of the season. And not having that pace at their disposal. I know they still have it in the likes of, say, Maximan and Almiron and stuff wide, but it's been huge since they've lost him. So I'm actually going to go, I said I went with a 0-0 draw anyway. All
right. Paddy, what do you make on this one?
Obviously, Newcastle played United last, and I have to say, I watched the game. They played really well. They fought, they battled. They were unlucky to not get anything out of the game. So I'm going to go with Newcastle getting the win here, especially seeing as they played first. If Fulham had played first and won, that might have caused the nerves to be big, but they'll be up for this game, and I can see them getting a tight win.
Yeah. And scoreline? How tight? Yeah.
Do you want to score?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, 1-0 maximum.
1-0 maximum.
Maximum 1-0, not 2.
Maximum. The maximum they'll get is 1-0.
Or their scoreline.
Yeah, he's going to score.
Or what do you reckon?
I agree with Paddy that they played well against United, but I just think that part of it is United being so slow starters into a game, and then as soon as they came into the 30-minute mark, like they were really non-existent.
Yeah.
I just really worry for Newcastle. Like I think they're going to go down. Like I think Fulham will pip them for that last safety spot. I'm going to go with 1-0 Wolves with Fabio Silva to score.
1-0 Wolves. Laura, what do you reckon on this one?
I'm going to have to agree with Conor. I think both teams will end up nullifying each other. Newcastle did play quite well for the first 30 minutes anyway against Manchester United, and I thought, maybe things might have been different, but like Kieran said, that kind of dwindled. I'm not entirely sure. Like obviously they got the pace from Saint Max Millerman or Max Millerman. What the fuck?
Having Paul
Yeah, I just don't see there being many goals from the Wolves side or Newcastle. I think it'd be a 1-1 draw. I think there'll be a goal each, and Saint will score. I'm not going to give it a goal.
Just call it Alan.
Yeah. So lads, I've gone with a Wolves win on this one. Although I'm bigging up Newcastle just for being a great price. I just think because Steve Heads. Oh, I ruined it. No, Steve Bruce's head is fucking massive.
Steve Heads.
Steve Heads.
I was like, did Bruce get the sack or what?
So I've gone with a 2-1 win for Wolves, and I've gone with a Neto goal. So I think he might get on it. Just for anyone watching as well on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. I don't know what story is at Twitch.
Yeah, we've had some comments in from I have
fans on Twitch.
Oh yeah, let's have a look.
Through Twitch, actually. Through Twitch.
Oh, it's through Twitch. Okay. So
what do you think about Brighton's goal skills?
Goal skills, right? So that's questionable at first. Then he's come up with, do you think they'll win this golf? Crazy goals?
This year's crazy goals.
Dale. Okay, so he's corrected himself. He seems to have gone and corrected himself again with 2-1
crazy golf.
So I don't know what he's trying to say there, but look, fair play to you.
Did that go through Google Translate or something?
I don't know what's happened there. So
I think it's Boris.
I have bum fluff, so
do you?
Thanks for writing in. Yeah, but no, if anyone is watching on Facebook, send in the comments and we'll put them up on the screen and we'll read them out. So
yeah, no matter what you say,
hey, anything at all.
As you can see, we will put anything on the screen.
Messages now. Facebook, I'll probably just read them out because I can't get them up onto the screen. But I did get a message, a lot of abuse from the post I put up today about Klopp and Ollie. So it'd be interesting to see if anybody's there watching from that, because a couple of people said they were going to be coming in to give me abuse. There was someone that promised us a voice note and we haven't received it, so I'm a little bit disappointed in him.
He's still crying, leave him alone.
Still crying. Lads, we're going to move on to the next match, and the next one is Crystal Palace and Fulham. Again, not really a fucking great match to be looking at and talking about. So 12 o'clock on Sunday. Palace are 12-5, surprising price for Palace. Draws are 11-5 and Fulham are 6-5. This is more kind of like the Brighton one, where I would have expected kind of the away price to be 6-5, around that type of stuff. What do you reckon on this one? Fulham, obviously, again, we were just literally talking to them there. They may need these results and these type of points to escape relegation. Is this a game, do you reckon, that they can get something out of, and if maybe more than a point, maybe a win? Like,
yeah, I think they're on a bit of a bounce. They have Lookman, who's kind of the talisman at the moment, so I guess he's the one that's going to give them the bit of spark, and they can have a bit of drive off of him. But then you're also thinking about Palace. Like, what do Palace have to go for? They're pretty much safe. I know they had the good result, or the last minute win against Brighton. Whether that gives them much of a push, I'd probably edge Fulham on it. So I'm just waiting for the price, like 6-5 for Fulham. They have a bit more something to go for. Lookman's on form. I can't see why you wouldn't go for Fulham with a 1-0 win.
Okay.
Goal scorer.
So I presume you've gone Lookman.
The main
Ariola.
Lawler, what do you reckon on this one?
Well, it's London derby, Collie. You know.
Yeah, it is a London derby.
My head over myself.
Bring your noise.
I think Fulham will win. You know, Crystal Palace got snatch and grab there last week, but I think Fulham will come out with a victory this time around. I'll choose a different player, even though Lookman is more than likely if I'm picking them. I think it's going to be a 1-0. And I'll go with Ruben Loftus-Cheek there. Just there's another one you can write down, or another player.
So you've got 1-0 with Loftus-Cheek, was it?
Yeah.
Right. Paddy, what do you reckon?
I can't. The way teams and the inconsistency this season, I can't see Fulham winning again. So I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw and Lookman first goal scorer.
And Lookman.
Yeah.
Nice one. Conor?
Yeah, if you were looking at the table again, the prices are deceiving on this. I think it's just, I think Palace have reached that stage where I think they're happy enough now knowing that they pick up another 12, 15 points by the end of the season and they're going to be safe. And I think that's really good. All I can see is you fixing your t-shirt and you're still blurry, by the way.
Sorry, the dog is walking around me here. I'm just trying to get her attention. Easily distracted. Oh, don't start blowing. Oh, God.
T-shirt.
Keep going. Yeah,
I think that's what the price. Fulham have something to play for. Palace don't really. And I can see that being what kind of dictates the result. So, yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 Fulham. I'm going to go with Carvalho.
2-1 Fulham and Carvalho. Lads, I've gone with a...
Can you spell that name so I remember it for next week?
I can spell it if you want.
Cavellier.
Carvalho.
Yeah, it's not your man who played with Chelsea.
What's a Carvalho or whatever you spelled? Wait, hold on a second. Come on. I think we'll get it. Lads, I went with a 2-1 win for Fulham, and I went with a Lookman goal. I think we've all just kind of jumped on the Lookman bandwagon there. So so we've gone with a 2-1 win. Right, we'll move on to the next one, which is a decent enough one here. Leicester and Arsenal. So Leicester are 29-20, great price. Draws 23-10, and Arsenal are 15-8. Conor, what do you reckon on this game? Do you reckon there'll be a few goals end to end, maybe?
It could go one of two ways, really, couldn't it? It might go. I don't know if both teams are a little bit too open. Fucking magic wand, Harry Potter in the corner. Fucking hell. Yeah, I consider. I don't know, to be honest. I reckon it depends on what way Arsenal set up at the back. If they set up with 3 centre halves and 2 wing backs, I can see it being low scoring. If they play David Luiz and they play a 4-4-2, I can see Madison Barnes, the way he's playing at the moment, getting a lot of joy.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what way Arteta sets up on it. I think he dictates whether Arsenal are going to go for it or whether Arsenal want to take a draw or maybe nick a win. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to go for a win. So I'm going to fancy Leicester in this, and Leicester by a couple of goals. So I'm going to say Leicester 3-1, and I'm going to go with Harvey Barnes.
3-1.
He's playing exceptional at the moment.
Paddy, what do you reckon on this one?
I think the game will mean more to Leicester. Arsenal obviously got beaten by City last week, and people were saying that they didn't play too bad, but I just don't think City didn't have to live toward fourth gear, to win the game. They won fairly convincingly. But I can't see Leicester winning. Arsenal just aren't a team that look like they want to do it this season, even for Champions League football. So I can only see Leicester winning this weekend. Tight enough. I'll say it'll be 2-1. I'm going to go with Aubameyang to score first, and then Leicester will come back.
Aubameyang, nice one. What do you reckon on this one?
I think it's only going to go one way. I think it's going to be Leicester. I don't think Arsenal are any great shakes. I know they just made a great comeback against Benfica, but
Benfica,
still think Leicester.
That was an interesting pronunciation of Benfica.
What did I say? Did I not say Benfica? No.
Benfica.
I'm not blaming the internet on that one.
I don't think so. Okay, crystal clear it was.
Yeah.
4K definition. No, I think Leicester are just on a run themselves at the moment. Loads of good results. Players are going on form. Conor had mentioned Harvey Barnes, but Madison is adding goals to his repertoire. Vardy is back, isn't he?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Vardy's back. I think Madison might be out after last weekend. He went off injured.
Yeah.
He's doubtful.
And then they have Thielen. So look, they have players that can score from all over. So I think it's only going to be one way. I'm going to go with Connor as well with 3-1, but I'll probably go with Tielemans to score instead of Barnes.
3-1 with Tillmans. That's an interesting one. Lala, what you reckon on this?
Yeah, I think it's going to be another Leicester win as well. I think Arsenal are going to come out and try win after losing against City last week, but again, so unconvincing. Anytime I watch them, I really enjoy watching Leicester this season. They're just going for games. Maddison's on form. Harvey Barnes is quality to watch. Actually, I love listening to Maddison's interviews after. He's so refreshing and honest. But yeah, I think it's going to be a 2-0 Leicester with Harvey Barnes to score.
Harvey Barnes, right? I've gone with a 2-1 win for Leicester myself. I've gone with Vardy to score. I do think this one's going to be end to end. I think there'll be a lot of chances. So I think Leicester are going to take it, but it could go either way because it's going to be whoever can take their chances. I think there will be a lot of chances in this game. It's going to be pretty end to end, I reckon. And I reckon there could be a sending off in this game, lads. We don't usually throw stuff out like that, but I reckon there could be a sending off in this one. So. And that could be something to watch out. So yeah, so for me, 2-1 to Leicester and Vardy to score for us. So that's 29-20 on that as well as a class price. So I'd probably be throwing that into an accumulator or two. Just a quick one. We've just had a comment in there on YouTube. Just what's the crack, lads?
Erectile
dysfunction.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unreal.
Yeah. So this is one of the lads. This is one of the lads I was talking to.
That must be your man Cock from Leeds, is it?
That's why he's so injured.
Yeah, so that was what I was talking to on the Instagram page. So I'm sure he's here to give us his opinions on Klopp and Ollie. So we'll be looking at that later on in the show. So stick around.
Collie, one thing I will say, and it's a quick shout out for someone at Arsenal. I know they're an absolute sack of shit in general as a club, but Kieran Tierney has stepped up big time as a fucking captain and leadership material through like something straight out of Train Spot and Scottish wise. Like he just doesn't give a shit about anything. Just goes and absolutely lamps people, shoots from 40 yards,
he's a gearhead.
Scores worldies. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Train Spot is that he doesn't give a shit about anything. I said that afterwards, Paddy. But yeah,
so
he's another one.
You said you shout out as if you know him, like, or as if like he's gonna be watching here. Is that just a personal shout out for yourself, or what's that?
No, not a personal shout, but I mean, like compared to the rest of the sack of shit that's going on at Arsenal, you have like David Luiz giving away penalties, sending offs, game in, game out, and you have someone like that who's grabbing games by the scruff of the neck. Got another goal today against Benfica. Benfica. And he's really standing up as a leader in a team at the age of whatever he is, 24. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's good to see. It's actually good to see someone coming up through like that because you don't see a lot of that anymore. Like, lads, we'll move on to the next one. And we've got Tottenham and Burnley. 8-15 for Tottenham, which isn't a bad price at home. 3-1 for the draw and 21-4 for Burnley. Obviously, Tottenham in shocking form. It's an interesting one with Mourinho there. Do we reckon Mourinho's going to be walking or is he going to get sacked? Lala, what do you reckon?
Career, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it couldn't happen to a nicer prick in there, to be honest.
Stop it. He's a lovely guy. What bad word about Mourinho on this podcast?
He'd want to turn it around soon. Like Daniel Levy's not a fella to sit on his hands if results are going bad. Like regardless, if he doesn't turn it around soon, I could see him walking. Like it'll be interesting to see. I honestly don't know. If Bale comes into a bit of form, it could all change. But
Ali looks like he's kind of come on there, played the last game or two, and he's been playing pretty well. So.
He should sign for West Ham with Jay Lingard. The two of them would suit each other.
Jesus Christ. Imagine them two fucking games together. Give us a score prediction on this one, Lawler.
I'll go 1-0 Spurs. I think they do a good game for them. It'll be not great to watch, but I think they'll nick it in the end.
And goal scorer?
Son.
You've copied me whole fucking thing here. I'm just going to try out that I have the exact same result. So I have 1-0 to Spurs and Son to score. Water, what you reckon?
I'm not liking Tottenham at the moment. Like really not liking Tottenham. I think Mourinho is just stuck in his ways. He hasn't changed. Are you laughing because of the internet or what? Because I can see his eyes.
Yeah. It was just.
We're not laughing at you. What you're saying? Don't worry.
No, go on. We'll laugh at what you say after you say it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's grand. He just hasn't changed his ways. I don't think the defenders that Tottenham have just aren't good enough to play the way that he plays. So I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw, and the goal scorer for me.
I'm gonna go for a Ben Mee to score from a corner.
Ben Mee over. Right, Connor. Who are you looking at, or what do you reckon on this one? You reckon the Spurs win? 8-15 is not a bad one to throw into the accumulator.
Yeah, but would you do it on Spurs' form at the moment at 8-15? Probably not.
No, it's a tight one, isn't it? Like,
I'd have to agree kind of with Lawler on this. The Spurs are struggling. I'd agree with Daniel Levy not being one to sit on his hands. We saw it in the fucking documentary how quickly he turned his back on Pochettino.
Yeah.
It was 1 minute we were best mates, and the next minute it was see you later. I agree with probably the rumours that are going around that they're already looking at like Nagelsmann and stuff. I reckon that's true. I reckon Levy probably has approached him for the end of the season. I don't think that's made up. And I think he does need to get a result out of here. Sean Dyche is obviously one who knows how to get results out of big clubs, especially away from home. But I agree. I think Spurs. Sean Dyche. Danny Ings is not for sale. I think they are going to nick. I think it's going to be 2-1. I haven't got a clue what way he's going to line up with Spurs, so I'm going to say the Burnley goal is going to come from Ashley Barnes.
Oh, so what? Sorry, what score did you say there?
2-1 Spurs.
2-1 Spurs and Barnes. Paddy, what do you reckon?
I can't see Burnley doing that in here, really. They can't score a goal. Spurs, although they've been on a bad result, still have some world-class players there. So they will hit a bit of form again, like they did at the start of the season. And Mourinho, if he's given a bit of time, he probably will turn it around. Now, whether it's behind the scenes, his usual toxic self that's ruining the club in the background, or else it's just the players themselves not being motivated enough. Again, that probably comes back down to him. But for this game, I'd say Spurs will win fairly convincingly. So I'm going to go 3-1 and Bale to score first.
3-1 and Bale. Lads, as I said earlier, I went with the 3-1 win the 1-0 win for Spurs and the Sun goal. It's an interesting one with Mourinho. Like, who if Levy's going to sack him there, who do you get in? Like, who is the
rumours are Julian Nagelsmann.
He'll be gone soon.
Hold it in, Paddy. I know it's a struggle. Just hold it in for a few
erectile dysfunction is typing.
Sorry, another comment in there. So
he's a hard bastard, he is. Well, he used to be.
He put up, just for grammar purposes, erectile dysfunction. Just in case there's anyone listening, and just have to make sure that they know what's going on there.
Don't offend anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to offend people. I suppose you know my thoughts on Klopp versus Ollie BS. Yes, I do know his thoughts, but I do want to hear them again when we're talking about it. Sorry, lads. So who do you reckon? Sorry, Connor was next in line for that.
Well, the rumours going around are Julian Nagelsmann from Red Bull Leipzig is who they're talking to at the moment, and we've seen rumours come out around Daniel Levy talking to managers before, and the majority of them turn out to be true. Yeah. So I wouldn't put it past him to speak with a manager like that who only has 18 months less left on his contract. And with Mourinho with the same, I wouldn't put it past him to be reaching out to have a look at for the summer. Will he improve something that Mourinho can't do? Who knows? Will he go in and work on more of a budget than Mourinho would? Probably. But that's who is in the rumour mill at the moment. Just as
what did you say would be a good show? Did you have someone else?
For this one, 3-1 to
no,
Spurs.
sorry, manager was there. Did you say you had somebody there that could be lined up for next one? Oh, sorry, yeah. You were throwing out the bait. Sorry, I forgot about that. Right, lads, we're going to move on to the next one here, and it is.
Sorry, I'm watching the United match as well. Sorry, I got mixed up there.
That's okay. You can shout out obscenities if you want. We don't mind. Lads, Sunday 4:30, Chelsea and United. This is going to be a good one. 6-5 for Chelsea, 12-5 for the draw, and 9-4 for United. lads, how do we see this one going? I'll go to you first on this one. Chelsea and United, do you see Chelsea continuing their good form, or do you see United kind of constantly improving, or do you see them kind of cancelling each other out in this match? What way do you reckon it's going to go?
It's a very tight one to call. I probably would be avoiding any betting on this because you really can't say. Chelsea had a great result against who were they playing? Or Atletico during the week. Like, they played really well. We watched it and streamed it here. United's record against the top six isn't great, but then again, like, what way are Chelsea going to set up? Are they going to attack us? Are they going to sit in? Will United catch them on the break? I probably think it will be a draw. I don't see United keeping a clean sheet either. They average a goal. They concede a goal a game. That's what they're averaging at the moment. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Ooh, so you see goals and the scorer?
Yeah. I have to go with Bruno Fernandes.
Fernandes. So you're saying there's going to be a penalty in the match. Conor, what do you reckon on this one being the neutral? Well, look, neutral enough on this one.
Yeah, Chelsea still unbeaten under Thomas because he's a world-class manager.
He's a world-class manager.
Compared to what was there before. Obviously, United are still in a good vein of form. Obviously, recent results probably haven't been the greatest. 1-3 or 1-4, whatever it is, and not against the top teams either. But again, overall in the season, have been playing well. Have outlets as well. And again, as Walter said, it depends on what way Chelsea want to play the game. I think Chelsea are going to dictate how United play a little bit. If Chelsea go with a bank of 4 and a bank of 5, like they have done a couple of times this season, I can see United struggling big time to break them down. If Chelsea come out and try to play 3 up top with 2 wide and 1 up top, I can see it being a little bit easier for United. So I can see Tuchel playing a little bit more defensively than usual, with not wanting to lose that record, but ultimately knowing he needs a win in order to keep the pressure on top 4 and to break back into it. I can't see it being loads of goals, and I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea.
Right.
And I'm going to go with Jorginho. I think it's going to be the same kind of thing that Water thinks, but I'm going to go with a penalty for Chelsea instead.
Nice. Paddy, what do you reckon on this one? Just before we go to Paddy, just want to, Paddy, you can return something to this if you want. Erectile dysfunction is in again, lads, and he just says, just going to say something, lads. United are 6th since 2021. They had a 6-point lead at the top and blew it. Let's not blow too much smoke up Ollie's hole. What do you have to say to that, buddy? You're talking to a Liverpool fan now. I just want you to know.
Since 2001. Okay.
2021.
Well, yeah, but we're second now. So what are you saying? Shut up! Fucking erectile dysfunction. Get some Viagra. What do you say to that? That's like saying going back the last 6 years, United would have been mid-table because they've had a bad run of managers and stuff.
Yeah.
If we had talked about United's misgivings over the last 4 or 5 years, I would have been the first one to say, yeah, we're being run really poorly at the moment. The managers we've had have been really, really bad. Ole at the start had a difficult time, but right now, well, the last year since Bruno Fernandes came in, we've been on one of the best form teams in the league. But before that, yeah, he's dead right. But I think he deserves to get a bit of smoke blown up his arse now at the moment, because United are looking back to being a proper club. And it's not only the form of the team, it's how the structure of the club is in place. Yeah. Carrington, how the players come out of Carrington, the ex-pros, everyone, the trainers talking about how the club feels like Manchester United again for the first time since Ferguson left. To that question, I'd say blow loads of smoke up his arse, and Klopp is a big fucking clown.
Paddy, what he's saying is 2 months ago United were 6 points clear and now they're 10 points behind. What's happened in the last 2 months? Not what happened before that. Different managers.
His form.
Lads, hold it. We're not going to talk about it just yet. No, you're going to go into a big rant there, and that's going to go on for 40 minutes. So we'll go back to this match. Erectile is throwing out some bait, and Paddy's bet on it. So I just want
Keep it coming, pal. Well,
I just want you to give us a score prediction on this one and just how you think this game is going to go. Then we'll go to Laura.
8-0 United, and Cavani's going to score 6.
I would be the thing that kind of I think about here is Chelsea have had 2 extra days to rest after a game. But as a United supporter, I'm going to go with United 2-1, but Giroud to score first.
And then you're going to turn off the PlayStation. And Lala, we'll go to you there just to see what you
think. I'm just going to copy fucking Paddy there because that's exactly what I was thinking.
Just in case you want to read it again there, just have a little read of it there.
I will discuss it in a moment. Sorry. He's a Liverpool fan, is he?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I don't upset him too much anyway, so we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. He's
right,
in the depth of despair.
So what you make of this one?
I think United are going to agree with Paddy. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win to United. I think Giroud will score first. I had to come back to what Conor was saying. I think, if Chelsea play with wide players, I think United's fullbacks this season have been quality defensively. As much as Wan-Bissaka absolutely frustrates the hell out of me going forward.
Let's not talk about Wan-Bissaka defensively. He's fucking shit.
Defensively, he's quality. And Shaw's just been on form all season. I think Giroud will give Lindelof and Maguire some issues. I can't stand the two of them.
Shut up, Lawler.
We have a guest on the podcast here. Now take a look. Sorry, Lala.
Gone for the dogs.
Sorry, Lala. Back to what you were saying there.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. I think it's 2-1 United. Giroud to score first, and United to come back. We always seem to concede first.
United just scored.
He literally just said that.
Thanks for the heads up.
Lawler said at the start.
I was going to say.
Lawler said he was going to copy Paddy.
Right, sorry, I was distracted by the dog.
Trendsetter I am.
So
I would have changed one to 2-1 United and Giroud score.
I'm going to say Giroud.
Paddy said it with so much charisma now, I believe.
Lads, I think this is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a game of chess. So I think Tuchel, as Conor, you were saying there, it depends. You think he's going to kind of be a bit more defensive in this. I don't know if he will. I think he's going to go with his 3 at the back again and 2 wing backs and play Alonso as well. Like I don't think he's going to change it much. I thought he was going to do the same at Atletico, but he didn't really change it that much. There were still kind of.
When you think about 3 at the back and 2 wing backs, ultimately when you don't have the ball, you're playing 5 at the back. So it's defensive.
Yeah, it is defensive, but again, you do risk more going forward, and you're very likely to get caught on the counter. So especially against the United team that have bundles of pace on the wings, it could be an issue because you don't have the quickest. If you're going to be playing, he's probably going to play Christensen. I do think he should be playing Zuma purely for his pace alone. And then Aspilicueta, I think, is going to be there anyway. He may struggle against who's going to be on the left. Rashford, is it? He may struggle against the pace of Rashford. So,
you never know.
What is it?
You never know who's going to be on the left. Ollie might put Martial or Rashford on the left. You just don't know who it's going to be.
I think his smart move is to play 3 at the back, 2 wing backs, and then load the midfield. I think that's where you're going to be annoyed. If you try to press out too much and play like a 4-3-3 or something a little bit too advanced, that's where you're going to get issues. But if you have even if it's like Alonso or Aspilicueta or something defending against a wide player, you're going to have an extra centre half to help you out as well. So I think that's what he needs. Overload the midfield, because I think that's where United struggle in that deep line midfield space. I know you have Fred, McTominay, Pogba and stuff, but I don't think when they don't have the ball, it's not the greatest of places to be, I think, as a United player. I think that's where they're going to cause them issues if they line up that way.
Yeah, I think Chelsea are very, very good since Tuchel's come in at controlling the game. They haven't really looked under too much threat in any of their games, so they control it very well in the midfield. So he has them kind of well gelled at the moment. His team selections to me are a little bit skeptical, maybe. The likes of Ziyech, as we were talking about last week, whether he stays or goes, or you just play him because he's having a little piss in the moan about it. He did play him last week and he brought him on, so It's an interesting one. I don't know whether we're not seeing something behind the scenes there, and there's some sort of knock, or he just doesn't feel he's 100% ready or whatever. But he's not shy. Pulisic as well is one of the players that I question why he's not playing more regularly. So look,
can you argue with the result? Can you argue with the results though?
I can't. So, but it's just like I feel like them players are being wasted. So that's the only thing. That's the only thing I say. But
if they're winning and not losing, you can't say the players are being wasted.
I know. So lads, I've gone with a 2-1 win for Chelsea in this one. I think we might nick this one. I think it's going to be a tight enough game. I actually think there's not going to be any goals in the first half. And then I think there might be a little bit of a flurry of goals then.
It usually happens with Chelsea and United, though. I know the last kind of couple of ones have been a little bit different because Chelsea have been out of sorts, but the classic top Chelsea teams against top United teams have always been 0-0s till late on. I remember David De Gea pulling out some fucking unreal stops in the 85th minute, 86th minute against Matt. I think it was a free kick, and then being like down to the wire for a goal. So I think it's going to go back to those days. I think. Yeah,
it's similar than what I think. I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Chelsea, and I'm going to go with a defender to score. And if Zuma plays, I think Zuma may score. But if he doesn't, I fancy Alonso then after that. I'm going to say Alonso. I'm going to go Alonso because I'll be more kind of confident that Alonso's probably going to play. Lads, we'll move on to the next one. The next one is Sheffield United and Liverpool. So Sheffield United 7-1, a great price against a shit Liverpool team. Draw is 19-5, and Liverpool are 4-11. Sorry, Connor, I'm just throwing it out there just to get you a little bit closer in, and then we're going to be talking managers, and then we'll really get you in. So Lala, how do you reckon this one's going to go? And what do you make so far of Liverpool this season?
They capitulated really, haven't they, at the minute?
Nice word.
That's his favourite word, if you ever notice. Wait till you see. He always uses it.
I think they'll be back next season, but definitely it's not going well at the minute. Klopp is feeling not maybe the pressure, but obviously he wants to get results. He's struggling to get the team to play together. And maybe get his sights out. Poor Thiago, I fucking feel for him. Someone put up a picture of fucking Jay Spearing playing centre midfield.
I did.
Jay fucking Spearing.
Jay Spearing could tackle them.
I would like to fucking think that Liverpool will beat Sheffield United, but I don't think it'll be anything too convincing.
Hang on. Rephrase that. You wouldn't like to think that.
I'd like to say the Bills.
Yeah, you would.
I think we all would.
But I just I can see Liverpool winning this time round.
I just want to ask you, Lawler, something real quick, right? So we're talking about Liverpool there, and you're saying you think maybe next year that they'll be back, but if they don't get Champions League football this year, did they risk losing Mane? Did they risk losing Salah? Did they lose maybe?
Anyway, I think I heard Conor a couple of weeks ago saying Salah wanted to leave when he joined Liverpool.
It's always been there.
I can see him going regardless of what had happened this year. Anyway, it was always a rumour mill.
He seems to be that type of player, though. Wherever he goes, as soon as he lands, he wants to move elsewhere. This happened with Chelsea, happened with Roma, happened with Fiorentina.
I can understand that at Chelsea. Chelsea, he didn't get a look in. Mourinho, I think it was, that had him there. He I have to admit, he wasn't great at all for Chelsea. He came on and I remember watching him one game. I think it was against United. He brought him on for 15 minutes. I think I counted. He gave the ball away five times in 15 minutes. I was just who is this fella? But obviously it turned out a different way. But so you reckon? Do you reckon they'll get Champions League, Laura?
I don't know. It doesn't look likely at the minute.
Yeah.
Unless they can turn it around. I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't seen enough of Sheffield United to make a judgment on if they could tip them really this weekend. Liverpool have been poor from what I've seen of them. I do think they should have the quality to beat a team like Sheffield United. So I think that's going to be the way. But I don't know if they're going to pick up enough points between now and the end of the season.
Yeah,
And
it is a tricky one, all right, to actually call.
when you see the teams around there who are playing well, like I'm going to all of a sudden start dropping a lot of points. Leicester as well, who are playing well, and I don't think United are going to be dropping out of there anytime soon either. So
Everton are another team beside them, which
with games in hand.
Yeah.
So just have a quick look at the table there. So obviously you see Liverpool sitting in sixth position. Yeah, so they've lost 4 in a row in the league. Obviously, look, a shocking run. Sitting in sixth position, 5 points behind West Ham. Now, let's be honest, I don't think West Ham. I think they will probably start fading off a little bit.
I think we said that last week with Andy McNulty in here as well, said they were going to fall off.
Yeah, I think they probably will start fading off now in the next couple of weeks. Chelsea, I think, should hopefully make their way up there. And I think Leicester might drop a couple of points. I don't know whether Leicester will keep that kind of run up. So if Liverpool are going to sneak in, I reckon it could be 4th position they sneak into. Paddy, looking at that, what do you reckon on the league, especially for Liverpool?
Well, Henderson is out now for a good while as well, isn't he?
That's right. He's out 3 months or something.
He's out for a minimum.
I can't say if they were relying on him as centre back, and now they haven't got him either. I can't see them making 4th spot. They're not going to win every game for the rest of the season, and their away form hasn't been their big problem. It's their home form. Yeah. Since the turn of the year, so I could see them win this weekend. Yeah, it's their form completely. I know they've been really bad at home. Really bad at home. They've got a couple of results away from home, but their home form has been atrocious. This weekend, I can see them getting a result because it's only a matter of time. They have a lot of good players. They still are a good team. Terribly inconsistent at the moment. Form, confidence is just through the floor. Yeah. When we talked about the Ole Klopp thing and that, I suppose we'll have a conversation about that in a while. But for this weekend, and anyway, I can see them winning 1-0. Mane score.
1-0 Mane.
Yeah. Here, we will. Function is confident in here.
Okay, let's have a look. So one of the front three will definitely go. I'd say it makes sense for progression of the team. I'm not sure because who do you get to replace them? Unless
regression of the team.
I don't know. And then he's agreed with just we've been pure shy either way, which I agree with. And he has he's not wrong. But just looking at his comment, lads, we were going to keep it under an hour, but for some reason we're at 57 minutes now. So I'm just going to fly through it real quick, and we'll get score predictions on this one. We will be talking a bit more about Klopp and thing at the end there. But Conor, what have you gone with? No, sorry. Just give us a bit of your opinion on Liverpool. Obviously, being a Liverpool fan as well. Just tell us what you think.
Yeah, I'd see them struggling to break top 4. I mentioned it kind of last week, and I thought the thought process around it would be if they get beaten by Everton, the focus has to shift to Champions League. Yeah, they're not the best team in Europe by far, but they're a good club team when it comes to Europe. They've gotten the Champions League finals with much worse squads. Yeah. I can see the focus shifting to there purely because we talked about it earlier on before we even started. There's no consistent team in Europe apart from City really at the moment. Bayern are dropping points, Atletico are dropping points, Madrid, Barcelona, they're all dropping points around the place. I think City's voodoo in the Champions League will still let them down this season, whether Liverpool win it or not. I still don't think City will this year. I still think there's something there that won't click for them this season to win the Champions League. They've had better odds 2 and 3 years ago. They haven't progressed past any final stages. I don't think this is going to be the year for them to do it. So I can see Liverpool shifting their attention to Champions League football, try to win the Champions League to get them in next year. Because I can't see, at the moment, need to rely on Everton to drop points, Leicester to drop points, Chelsea to drop points, and West Ham to drop points.
Yeah, so you're relying on others.
2 or 3 of them might. Yeah. And again, you mentioned that West Ham probably will, Everton probably will. And you're looking at Chelsea and Leicester. Will either of them drop enough points for Liverpool?
Just what you're saying there, like, is it what you're saying? Like, you're relying on us kind of dropping points there. Like, it can't really just be that. Like, it has to be a change in form for Liverpool as well. Because
no. I'm not saying that like all the other teams. I mean, Liverpool have to go consistently as well as other teams dropping points. But I mean, it's out. Even if Liverpool go and win the rest of their games, it's still out of their hands. If other teams win the rest of their games, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So I think obviously you need to rely on those other things happening and then winning all their games being bare minimum. So that's why I can see that shift being across. You'd fancy them obviously with the advantage they already have against Red Bull to qualify for the last 8.
Yeah.
You're 2 games away from a final then instead. And with there still being some maybe not too bad draws going in there, especially if like Porto where they get through and stuff, then you're in a semi-final. I can see the focus being shifted across to like a cup competition where
Sean Connery.
Yeah, no, do you like that? I can see it being shifted.
Lads. Congratulations. Well done, lads.
I can see it being shifted to a cup competition where league form is kind of out the window.
Right. Score prediction on this one from you.
I'm going to go 1-0 Liverpool. And I'm going to go with who's going to score? Divock Origi. I reckon Firmino will get dropped.
Interesting.
Do you think? Can I just come in there? Do you think that's a massive issue for Liverpool at the minute? A big thing is obviously they're missing at the back. Midfield have been poor, but if the 2 best midfielders have to play centre half, but up front. I do think they will lose one of the front 3, probably Salah. But Firmino up top just doesn't supply enough goals, and relying on him to be that focal striker the whole time who doesn't deliver with enough goals. They're going to have to go out and get someone else as well. Divock Origi doesn't get enough either. Come on, he's not good enough. So they need someone.
I would say. The big thing that, and I only noticed that when because obviously when you're watching the games you don't get to really see what's going on the pitch, but what Neville and Carragher had pulled out around Christmas time was the amount of interceptions that Firmino, or the amount of times Firmino had won the ball last season compared to this season. And this season he's at like a quarter of his number from last season because of Liverpool's press last year. And again, we go back to, hey, Paddy, you look great.
Sorry about that, Paddy.
When last season you go back to Liverpool being a lot higher, and does that come from the confidence of not having the back 2 there? Who knows? But Firmino's not winning as many balls as he did last year up top, and off the back of that, he's not scoring or assisting as many goals this season. Don't know if they're related or not, or he's just in a bad run of form. But I had said it. You can't obviously really question it last year when he went on to win the title. But I always said that Liverpool needed a backup, at least a backup of a number 9, someone who was in the team just to score goals. Whether that was Danny.
They have Jota though. Jota is a decent. Obviously he's injured,
but he's a wide player as well. He's more of a creator than an out goal scorer, an arrowhead at the top. And he had like Danny Ings there, who obviously did it before. He was injury prone at Liverpool. It was unfortunate. But they need someone who's
training
probably training again. Yeah, fucking physios and doctors in that club. But they need someone whose job is just to score goals, and that's something that they need to invest in the summer. Obviously, alongside an actual centre half.
Yeah,
I think they'll be lucky in the year that's in it as well, like with COVID and with the Euros being held in the summer as well. That I don't think there'll be too many transfers going. So if you don't make Champions League, I don't anticipate that you'll lose too many players.
I don't anticipate.
But you got to look at the two players who could leave aren't from Europe, so.
Okay, this all depends on where the club are at the end of the season as well. About the Klopp thing and something Melon said about Klopp is safe. If you look at Claudio Ranieri, Leicester, the season after they won it, he got the bullet. Yeah, so like loyalty only lasts so long. The board already, for some reason, wouldn't back him in January. Yeah. Now, if you turn around to me and say that they haven't got the money, how much money are they going to lose if they don't get Champions League football?
Yeah, 80 million.
Massive. 80 million. And so they couldn't have bought a centre back for that.
Yeah.
Go into the bank.
Paddy, you've got to also realise that the club wouldn't back them when they won the Premier League during the summer to buy a centre half. They rejected the fee for Koulibaly. So if you're not going to back him when he wins the league and they say, no, it's fine on what you have at the moment, they're not going to do it when the league is probably gone.
But from a business perspective, you don't look at it. And then this is not just the Liverpool thing. This was like, because I said, why doesn't Klopp speak out publicly about this? Because he needs the backing. And Melon was saying, well, because he'll end up losing his job. But inevitably, managers that don't get backed by the board end up losing their job anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So why not make yourself look good and say, look, I need these players. I'm not being backed. I don't know why I'm not being backed. Like,
But
because he needs.
He has came out. He came out in January and said that I'd love to buy Koulibaly, but I'm not going to get the money for them. So he's not saying out and out. I know I wouldn't come out and say to about my employers in the public eye, the fucking bastards won't pay me or won't give me.
After you won the league, you have a bit of wiggle room. Even with the owners.
And the only thing is with Klopp, so Conor, just sorry for instance, what you were saying there, you don't say you just for instance, you're not going to shit talk your job because they'll sack you, right? But you've done something amazing in that job. Obviously, if you're referencing to the same thing that Klopp has done, Klopp has won the league with his job, right? So it's like you securing a contract worth fucking 20 million, whatever, blah blah blah. So that's on your CV now. So why would you have fear of calling out when you want help? You call out that board and they don't do it. You walk into 95% of other jobs with that little bit of achievement on it. Now, Klopp obviously has a big reputation and stuff like that. You have a bit of back in there. Like, I just feel like that a public kind of it doesn't have to be a fucking the board or a joke. Just literally a small little statement. Just so the fans know as well, and they start creating a bit of hype about it.
I'm sure United fans know as well that American owners don't take too well to transfers in England. The same thing across the board.
Yeah, because when the green and gold thing happened at United, I wished Ferguson had come out against the board. I've talked to Arsenal fans, and the current Arsenal owner now is just is pulling the money.
Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV.
But he's taken all the money out of the club, and he has done since they went into the new stadium. So they haven't. They're just a joke of a club now. So United have kind of turned it around in the sense of that they've spent money, stupidly spent money, but they've still spent money. So whatever happened to the owners, they decided when Ferguson left, we're going to start spending money. But if Liverpool now turn into an Arsenal or start saying, right, well, we haven't got the money, we're not going to invest in the team as much as we have done to win the league, well, then they're just going to go 30 years again without winning anything.
But you notice that United stopped spending money when they were winning the league. And I think this is what's after happening with Liverpool here.
They didn't stop spending money. He had a constant cycle where he only needed to buy one or two players a summer. There was no rebuilds anymore. But you're nearly looking at Liverpool now and the amount of injuries and all they had. But I don't remember Ferguson always said that one or two players can freshen up a whole squad. And if you don't bring in one or two top quality players to push the rest of the team on, complacency seeps in the squad.
What did Moyes get at the end of? What was his transfer kit or his war fund when he took over that summer?
They went for everybody, but no one wanted to play for him. Nobody wanted to play for him.
He signed Fellaini.
But they went for everybody. They tried to sign Ronaldo, bleeding Bale. They tried to sign everyone, but nobody wanted to play for him.
Sorry, I'm just gonna cut across. Sorry, I want to just get through the rest of these games. We're coming back to this after the last game. We've only two games left. So, I just want score predictions on these. So, I'll come to you for a score prediction. I've got one from Paddy and Connor.
I'm going to go 1-1 Sheffield.
1-1 Sheffield. And
Sheffield's go first.
And who have you got scoring?
Quick Google players there.
Billy Sharp.
He's the big header from them all.
Lawler, can I get a score prediction from you?
Fucking hell, I forgot what match we were on. I go 2-1 Liverpool.
And scorer?
Quebec.
In his own goal.
Fair enough. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Liverpool and Firmino to score. We've literally been talking about him not scoring, but I think he might just score in this game for some reason. Lads, we're going to move on from this game, but we will be coming back to the Ollie thing and the Klopp thing in a minute. We're an hour and 10 into it, so we won't be spending too much longer on the rest of it. So, lads, I'm just going to get quick score predictions on this one. So it's Everton and Southampton. This is going to be the last one we'll look at. Everton are 23-20. I have 30 wrote down there. That's wrong. I've got the draw is 12-5, and Southampton is 23-10. Paddy, can I get a score prediction on this one?
1-1. Danny Ings to score first.
Connor?
1-1 as well. Sigurdsson.
Lawler?
2-1 Everton. Calvert-Lewin.
Water?
3-1 Everton. Richarlison.
Lads, I've gone with a 2-0 win for Everton and Richarlison goal as well. So Lads, we were going to look at the City Wolves game, but we were running out of time, so there's no point. That's on the Tuesday night. Lads, just a quick one, right? We are going to go back to the Klopp and Ollie thing in 2 seconds. Just before we do, I just want to talk about a giveaway that we're doing on the page. D-Pro gun massage guns. So I'm going to just throw them up there. That is the, just want to double check, that is the Instagram handle for this company. So lads, what they've done is they've sent us out a massage gun. So I have it here beside me. So it's like a D2 light massage gun. So this thing is class. Yeah, there's nothing in it. So look, it's in a little carrier case as well. So I don't know. Obviously,
that's a suitcase.
Obviously, the stuff are closed. But obviously, that's a handy little carrier just to have it with you. Lads, they've given it to us to do a giveaway on the Instagram page. So I'm going to be running a giveaway, obviously, in the next week or two, just to give this to someone. So it's going to be simply just like the D-Pro gun massage gun page. It's going to be tag 2 mates and share the thing on your story. They're worth about 200 quid, 250 quid, I think, but they're on special at the moment for about 130. So they are class. I've seen Jeff Hendrick and Paul McGrath, so stuff like that.
Name dropping going on. Have a few names there. Have a few names.
Them lads are
but he's not eating curry chips, buddy.
Yeah.
His legs.
So lads, they're using them as well. So look, that is a savage giveaway, and a big shout out to D-Pro Massage Guns again. That's the handle on Instagram. So make sure that everybody gets over and follows them. You will have to do it to enter the competition anyway. And so look, they have some serious products over there as well. So that massage gun is class. So that's going to be a giveaway we're going to be running on the page. I will link everything up on the page anyway. So up in the story, you'll have the little link that you can click anyway and follow them. So look, lads, I'll make everything pretty simple on the giveaway itself, on the Instagram page. So don't worry about it. It will be very straightforward. So lads, move on to the next thing. So I'm just going to hide this as well. Lads, we're going back onto the Klopp and Ollie thing. This has been the big thing of personally for me, of the day and of yesterday as well, because I put a thing up
of your life, Collie.
Yeah,
you've never had so much interaction.
It's the biggest moment of my life. Lads, I put up a question, and basically me and Melon, you were involved in this. We had a little bit of a debate on Tuesday. Tuesday, wasn't it? And I had put a question to the lads saying, if you could have a choice now between Ollie and Klopp as manager, given the current circumstances, the current squad, everything now, Melon had kept going back to, we'll look at it over 2 or 3 years. Who would you pick? And you have to look at the potential of what's going forward rather than what he's done behind. So obviously Klopp's won the league. I think he gets a little bit of slack, and I think Liverpool fans in particular are turning a little bit of a blind eye to the really bad form that they're on. Lampard went on the same thing, got sacked. Obviously, he didn't win the league or anything like that, but he had a vision, and obviously, look, just didn't get the time. Paddy, I'm going to come to you because you had some stuff to say to Melon, but obviously Melon has bottled it and not shown up today.
Is anyone looking at the Facebook comments? Sorry, just before you go on, Paddy, because Melon said he was going to be on to ask some questions.
Yeah, so I haven't seen anything from Melon, so I don't know. I'm not on the Facebook comments. I have it there.
Mute the water, will you?
Yeah, mute it. Make sure it's muted. No, that's fine. If he's gonna come on, he's. I don't think he's on. He's not going to be on Facebook unless he's watching on YouTube. So he doesn't have a Facebook account. Paddy, but what do you think of this one? So, like I said, it's between Ollie and Klopp. Now, look, let's look at it in a bit more detail than Melon just being tunnel vision on it.
No, I'm going to be very objective here, and I've thought about this before I came on today.
Yeah.
If you had have asked me before Ollie had started, do you want Klopp or Ollie? Klopp all day long. Give me before he went to Liverpool. Give me Klopp. You've done a great job beforehand. Ollie had no experience. Ollie has come in, and not only it's the connection he has to the club as well. Scoring the winning goal in '99. He loves the club. He loves everything he does in the club. You can see he has a passion for it. He wants to do it the right way, the way the best managers in United's history have done it before. And the form and the squad is looking like it's getting somewhere. So if you ask me right now, presently, would I choose Klopp or Ole? It's Ole all day long.
And now,
irrespective, even if Liverpool were still winning,
yeah,
I'd
you
still
still
pick Ole at the moment. Yeah, because
Right.
he's doing a good job.
I just want to jump to Conor just because I want to go from United to Liverpool straight away, kind of a fresh kind of thought. Sorry lads, we have Melon popping up here on the comments here, so I'm just going to bring up he just wants to give a little shout out there to Alison's father passing away. Look, lads, that's a terrible situation. His father drowned, but I did have some ridiculous comments coming to me that this may be the cause of Alison's recent run of form, run of bad form. Sorry. Look, it's a terrible situation, but that's absolute bullshit. But yeah, we do send condolences to Alisson and his family there. But yeah, sorry, Conor, going to you. What do you make of what Paddy has said there?
I think from what I heard on Tuesday, I got a little bit confused. Yeah, I know, because I was shocked. That's why I went high pitched. If you were going to say Ole at United and Klopp at Liverpool right now, then obviously it's Ole at United. But if both managers are going to have the same set of players and the same setup and everything that was going on was the same, we were just comparing managers, well, then I would go with Klopp. But if we're going to compare them as it's like comparing apples and oranges here, I think, because obviously one of them has lost the last 4 games and the other one has lost 1 in the last 4. So obviously you're going to go with the one who's only lost 1 in the last 4.
Which one is an apple and which one's an orange?
Which one do you want to be the apple? I'll let you pick.
Ole is the apple.
Okay.
Of my eye.
Klopp is the orange. Shit. So what I'm saying is, if you're just going to compare manager to manager, well, then I'll have Klopp all day long. Purely on the basis that obviously we're going to look at over the course of a year is what manager gets based over usually. It's not the case in Premier League football at the moment, which is a little bit shit. But yeah, if you're just going to base them on managerial experience, how I think, I don't know how they interact with players because I don't know, because I'm not one of the players of either of them. I don't interact with them on a daily basis. I would say Klopp. But obviously, if you're going to say right now at this very moment for the very club that they're working with, well, then obviously it's Ole.
Right, just a quick one, lads. Another message in there just from a record function. I can understand it from a Man U fan, and I think Ole is a perfect fit for United because he has a connection with the club. You put Klopp literally anywhere in the world, he'd do an indefinitely better job. He's proved it at Dortmund.
Look, okay, I'm sorry, just to jump in there as well. Look at Mourinho, right at the first couple of clubs, and then his form just went away completely as well. So you can't it's not just a given that Klopp now will be a good manager everywhere he goes. Yeah, it's not like, eventually these bad results, and because it happened with Dortmund as well. Like, he did a couple of good seasons, great seasons, and then he dropped off severely as well. And now seems to be happening at Liverpool as well.
There, Paddy?
Go on, jump in there.
But in terms of being able to ride a storm or a bad spell, so I remember that crash at Dortmund. That crash and decline at Dortmund was steep, and it was fast, and it was horrible. And like, for a place that loved them, they hated him when he left. So, like,
what? How many Dortmund fans do you know?
Look, but in terms of now,
he got banned and all. They did go bad. Yeah. I know what he's saying.
But like, does Klopp have the ability then for when things go bad to bounce back then? And I think this is the test here then, because if he wasn't able to do it at Dortmund and revitalise a squad to where he had Marco Reus and Goetze, and he wasn't able to put them back in. Like, he wasn't able to
get things you get in Chinese, I don't know. You get like pork and chicken.
I'm just going to ask you, Ward, can you answer that question? I don't know whether I think you've done it the other day, but can you just give your answer on that question, whether you'd have Ole or Klopp there?
I'd say it had Ole, because Ole right now has been shown that when results go his way, he can really bounce back, and he's done it multiple times.
Yeah, interesting. Lola, what do you think on this one now?
If you're talking purely about Ole at United, or sorry, Klopp or Ole at United, it's Ole for me. Paddy said it already. The culture that Ollie's created since he's came in, nobody else has replicated that. You can't tell me that Mourinho, Van Gaal, and Moyes were all fucking shocking managers and didn't know football.
Paddy hates Moyes.
I don't think he was the right fit for United, but all of those managers come through and get nothing out of the squad. I think the problems were deeper than that. But Ollie knew the club. He has that connection, but he's created the culture. I know, like bringing in some of the background staff, that lads that he played with. Like there seems to be a great feel about the place, and I think he's the right man at United. I really don't think it's a question. But you can't deny Klopp's ability as a manager. He's been top class at Dortmund, at Liverpool as well. I don't really like the way he's been now that they're losing games, and
he's narky. I don't like it either.
Game culture,
yeah.
But he went.
He's gone the way Mourinho is. He's turning a crank.
I think he's gone worse than Mourinho because it's like passive aggressive. It's not like Mourinho. Mourinho was just outright aggressive. He just didn't like things going. But Klopp tries to laugh it off. I don't like that. But
on this podcast, you've 3 United supporters. I think anybody outside Manchester United Football Club would probably pick Klopp.
Yeah.
Overall, I do think that, but I just think any United supporter would probably pick Ollie because of, again, the connection to the club and the form we're in and the team that we're building. But I think anybody outside United, I'm not delusional, I think would pick Klopp.
So that's what I was saying. Are we saying to take over United, or are we just saying as a manager? That's why I asked the question, because otherwise
the manager of your club.
It didn't make sense to me.
That's why I was justifying what we were talking about. My answer might change then as well. Like
no. The question is on the club you support. So I'm asking you, who would you prefer? The club you support, given all the circumstances of the manager and stuff like that. So you're a United fan, obviously. I do find that like United fans, and I got a lot of stick about this, putting this question even up. And look, let's be honest, right? We live in Ireland, and probably like what are we talking? The guts of say 80 or 90% of fans over in Ireland are either Liverpool, United. It's very rare you come across anything else like.
Losers like you.
We're not all sheep lads, you know. But look, it's what I want to know is just if the manager is coming in to manage somebody, he's managing your club. So look, if I'm answering the question, I'm answering it referring to Chelsea. Like,
do you want to put that comment up on screen there, Collie? It's directly at Patrick Sheridan Music.
All right, here we go. So, which one are we talking about?
Melon.
So
Melons Moan.
We do have a couple in from Erectile Dysfunction, which
what do you think, Collie?
I'm being honest, Paddy. You've pretty much said it. United are obviously going to be looking at Ollie as their kind of savior, whatever way you can phrase it better than that. But he has like obviously a vision for a culture there, and he's trying to build something which has been. It was what I thought I was getting with Lampard. And it was unbelievable, like to have someone there that is for the same cause as you, and it's just an out and out 100% your club.
I'm sure the question would be the same if Steven Gerrard took over Liverpool tomorrow.
It would be. It
wouldn't work anywhere else, but he'd work at Liverpool. You know?
Yeah, it's the same thing. So that's why I just want to know, like, with Liverpool, with United fans. Again, I'm kind of putting this to Liverpool fans as if it's an issue with Klopp, but I want to also know.
Why do people get so arsy over this question?
Very arsy. Like, lads, this caused so much controversy on fucking Instagram for me, and it was hilarious, and I loved it. It was brilliant. Like
Melon alone. If Melon was an indicator of a lot of Liverpool fans, blinded by loyalty.
It is blind.
Put that question up, Polly. Put the question up.
Sorry, I want to just discuss what I'm saying here. I'll put it up in a few minutes. I just think that the blindness of the loyalty. Look, I was talking to one guy on Instagram, and I did say he was like, he came up with the whole thing about the injuries and stuff like that. And I did say, look, War being a physio can chime in on this, but there's no way that you can actually sustain that level of performances and be okay for that length of time. Your muscles physically can't do it if you're not correctly prepared. Like, they haven't had a proper preseason, and I just think that the muscles are going to suffer from that, and they're going to pull muscles. Like, so What are you laughing?
What are hell?
Van Dijk got fucking crucified by Jordan Pickford, and you're blaming a no pre-season on it?
No, that's one injury now, Connor. That's one injury.
Hey, Van Dijk.
No, you
No,
didn't.
but I'm saying you're saying injuries. But I'm saying that's the main.
But again, this is Liverpool
one.
again. They keep on going back to Van Dijk.
Look,
It's the only
lads,
injury that matters.
exactly. It's the only
No,
one.
it's not. It's Joe Gomez tearing his
I
ACL.
have an injury list here, and I've got who's injured and what they've got injured. Like you look at them there, right? Van Dijk's a freak knee injury. That's grand. Jota has a knee injury. Gomez has a knee injury. Lads, why are these people getting knee injuries? Weak muscles around it, weak calves, weak hamstrings. These are weak joints when you torn it, you fucking may go over on your ankle or on your knee. Sorry, Matt began
Personal experience.
Began an ankle injury. Fabinho muscle injury. James Milner muscle injury. Jordan Henderson muscle injury. Like throw that away. Like where's fucking Klopp coming in on this? Where's Klopp coming in on this? Fixing the training, realizing like his physio and as Walter was saying, his strength and conditioning coaches are talking to him, telling him, look, we're getting too many injuries. We have a couple of players that are struggling. Give them fucking 2 or 3 days off. Don't give them an hour off. Don't give them a day off. He's not doing it.
Well, I said it last week.
As a caveat to this,
they sacked their doctor during the summer.
Do they have
the whole
the
medical
squad
staff
depth
change
to rotate the way they need to? Again, going back to the board, back on the manager. They didn't in the summer. They didn't in January. Are they getting these injuries because they haven't got a big enough squad? He can't rely on the backup players to come in.
What's that got to do with the
For the
manager?
first teamers.
He can't get the players.
Sorry? What's that got to do with the I'm not saying it does. I'm actually sticking up for Klopp a bit here. It's kind of saying
That's what I was saying.
What?
No, but I want to ask, right? I want to ask there. So, like, going back to that about not having the players, right? That's fine, right? We understand Liverpool's fucking 4 main defenders, whatever you want to call them, whoever they have, are injured, right? Why? So, look, we go back before Liverpool signed Van Dijk, and they were always a team that if they could just score goals, score, and then you'd always rely on fucking Karius making a bollocks or something, or fucking Mignolet or something fucking stupid like that. Concede a goal. But like, why can't Klopp trust a natural centre half? Right now, he still has Alisson there. At the time, he had them shit players. We didn't have the likes of Alisson in goal. So now he has to trust his younger players, put them in, and then what happens is you push Jordan Henderson up. Now I know, Connor, you were saying that you as a keeper would pick Henderson there in front of you because the experience and stuff like that.
No, I said the opposite. Yeah. I said I'd rather have a centre half than have Jordan Henderson in there.
But I think I gave you the choice of the two of like now given your selection who you'd have, and you came up with Henderson because just of his experience.
Purely on the basis because otherwise you would have had to have played Williams and Phillips together. But now they have centre halves. Since then they've bought 2 centre halves. So I'll play my centre halves and take Henderson out of there.
So that's what I'm trying to get at here, right? And people keep kind of fucking jumping in and not letting me get to my point, right? So no, sorry, not you, but just Liverpool fans in general,
just leave, really.
But like it's a whole thing with like you've got the centre halves there, right? You've got Jordan Henderson playing in centre half. He's obviously not a natural centre half. But why not just push him forward into midfield? Because apparently Thiago is suffering from this. Apparently Thiago, one of the best midfielders in the world, is suffering from this, from Henderson sitting in centre half. Right, get one of your young lads in. You have fucking Kabak, you have fucking Phillips, you have everyone there, right? Put them in. They're not the best centre halves in the world, but you can deal with it because you've got Alisson to dig it out of the hole most of the time. Then you've got a good midfield. You've got a surer fucking midfield. You've got Thiago playing higher up. And you've got your front three that you've had last season where you won the fucking league by about 20 points. So I can't see this is the one thing I'm trying to get at. And why does Klopp not see this? And why do Liverpool fans are they so blinded from the fact that like Klopp can do no wrong? I feel like he's doing this wrong, and I just want Liverpool fans to realise this and just fucking maybe just even think about it, or just look at it.
I agree with you.
We don't have the players. You have players. You have natural centre halves there. Play them.
No, I agree with you.
And again, like just if you get back to Henderson up the field again, it's just score more than you concede. Because you're still conceding, you're still losing games. But at least if you have the midfield and the forwards the way they were last season, the season before, you're going to score a lot of goals.
Sorry, I haven't read this message, but you keep telling me to put it up. Graham Jones, obviously Melon on the podcast, has come in. He's bottled it coming on tonight because he's still licking his wounds from Tuesday. But what about the
Warrior? No, I didn't want Olio.
What about the terrible run? Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, I'm going to just read it out for people that are listening. What about the terrible run of form United had when United fans were calling for Ollie out? Did Paddy want Ollie out at the time, or did he feel he should have been given the time? I actually asked Paddy this the last day, and I believe I said, were you Ollie out the whole time? Well, it was actually the first time you were on, Paddy.
Yeah.
And I asked you what your timeline was with Ollie, whether you wanted him out or was it going back and forward, or what your situation was, and you'd said no, you were always behind him.
And I'll tell you why, because we had so many managers over the last while that have just been a disaster. And you've seen when he first came in, we had a good run, and then he had a bad run. But you could see something was happening. I was thinking, if you get anybody else, we just have Mourinho in. And if he can't do a job, just give Ollie a chance. Yeah. And Melon's saying that because he thinks that, again, it's the voice, like he shouldn't have to badmouth Klopp. But while Ollie was there, I would have been very negative about him, the job he was doing, but I would have said give him more time. Well, all we're saying about Klopp is Liverpool fans need to see that if this continues, if it had continued with Solskjaer, he would have been gone. There's no doubt about it. And when is the cut-off line for Liverpool supporters where they'll say, okay, well, Klopp needs to go? Because it's getting there.
Yeah.
Go back to Claudio Ranieri at Leicester.
Yeah, go on.
You know, like they won the league. Forget 30 years. They won the league for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And he got sacked this season.
Yeah. I just think, sorry, Lawler, I'll let you jump in here now in a sec. Paddy, what you were saying is like the point for him to go. I don't think it's even at that point. I just want them to realise that he's underperforming. Do you know what I mean? It's not even like it's not the whole. I don't want all Liverpool fans going to go sack him, right? Because that's not what it is. Look, Klopp is a great manager.
But you're not going to get that off Liverpool fans because not all of them are football fans, and that's the difference. It's too easy to support Liverpool and United without knowing anything about football. So you're always going to get people who don't know anything about football just backing up for the manager. I've seen the things going around that if you can't support us when you win, or sorry, if you can't support us when we lose, don't support us when you win, and all this bullshit. You always support the club regardless, but you're allowed to have the criticism of the club when you understand football. You're not picking the right team. The front three can't sustain 4 seasons in a row. We've seen for front threes the whole way through the Premier League that you have to rotate your front three around. They have no depth for the front three to change it. And these things have to change in order for clubs to keep being successful. And if you're not going to do it, then it's going to be...
Sorry, Lawler, jump in there. Lawler, what just have you were saying there?
I think Connor's hitting the nail on the head there. Like, you know, you've constantly tried to get me to say Ollie out, both privately or when I first came on this as well. And
I have you saying it. You said back in November 6th. I'll find it in the WhatsApp if I have to.
I actually said that if he loses this weekend, he could be out. I never said I wanted him fucking out. I just because the way the board was. But I've always had my criticisms of decisions that he's made. You don't always have to agree with what decisions that the managers making. And I don't understand why Liverpool can't come out and say that. For example, what you're saying about the centre halves, like obviously Connor's in there now, but Melon just seems to be completely fucking blinded by it.
Yeah. I was just going to say, we still have at United the people saying, why is he playing Lindelof and not Boy? Or
why is he playing Martial and Rashford?
Every club has it, regardless of how successful they are. I'm sure there's City fans out there somewhere in London who are saying, why is he playing Sterling and not fucking Fernan Torres or whatever the fuck it is?
Or sorry, I'm going to jump to you there. What do you reckon on this one?
I think Connor's worded it the right way in terms of from both sides. It's that Klopp is a very good manager, but it's acknowledging mistakes and being held accountable for mistakes. And I think that's the part. I think there's a blind, and probably it's worded a lot better, that there's a blinded acceptance that it's not his fault for part of these things. And of course, the Van Dijk injury is not his fault, but I think other things are his fault, and other things in the club have led to this situation. In terms of the signings, as Paddy said, renewing the squad or giving the squad a boost, then 1 to 2 signings that they probably needed every season to get to that point, to be consistent and to win a league and win another league after that. Now I know they're coming up on the 3 years that they've had more or less the exact same 11.
Yeah.
So where does the So I'm going to put this question to Conor. Where does the point come when you question whether Klopp has the ability to do that? Where does that question come in?
I would
This
say
can be next season. This can be next season. It doesn't have, but that is a question to, I guess, think about, because
I would say he has to push back against the club to change the team in the summer. Something has to change, whether that be, well, obviously at the back, because even if everyone is fit, we can see there's not the depth there to be title challengers, because we can see City have the depth pretty much across the park. United even have kind of 3, maybe even 4 rotating centre halves that they can use. Couple of deep line midfielders. Kind of 4 across the front as well that they could use, that could slot in at any stage. And you've got to look and say Liverpool haven't got 4. Well, they probably have 4 across the front at the moment with the likes of Jota brought in. They have 2 centre halves who are Premiership winning material. They've got 2 fullbacks that are Premiership winning material. Having an off season this year, 100% agree. They need to have someone there challenging them to take, like the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't deserve to win a Premiership this season because how poor he's been. What should be there is they should have a good right full in reserve that they can say, you're out of the squad, this fella's playing instead, to try and make him fight for his place. They haven't got that. A bit of competition. It always helps. They haven't got that. So it's a serious lack of depth. And it's also a case of where we've seen it before. A starting 11 can't get you 4 or 5 seasons out of you. Like, the front 3 won't have another season in them. That front 3 will not win another Premiership title with the way they're set up at the moment. They have to, if they sell on one of them and they get obviously good money off the likes of Salah or Mane or Firmino, any one of the 3, they have to replace with quality. And that's the only way they're going to progress as a club. And I think where Klopp will struggle will be is if, and again, I don't know what that interaction is like between him and Fenway Sports during the summer. Does he rock up and say, here's my list of players I want to buy, and then they say no? Or I don't know what way it looks. But if they're in the same form before Christmas of next year, and they haven't won a Champions League in the meantime to get them that European football, they're in trouble for the following season. So I would say November of next year, if they're sitting mid-table or they're struggling to get into a top 4 position, they haven't guaranteed themselves European football for next year as well. He'd be looking at himself. And I don't think the club will put pressure on him, but I think Klopp will be the one who'll walk away. I think he'll be the one who says...
I have a counter-argument to that.
Right,
you don't think the club will put the pressure on him. It's a business at the end of the day. If Melon came up there and said we were saying Klopp out, that was tongue in cheek, really.
Yeah.
And it is tongue in cheek, because he is a great manager. He's done a lot at the club. But if it comes to the end of the season, you haven't made Champions League, do the board turn around then and say, look, it's been a really horrible season, irrespective of injuries. Do we give this money another 150, 200 million to invest in the team, or do we make a change before the new season? If results continue the way they are until the end of the season and they finish up outside the Europa League places, or they just get Europa League football for Liverpool again next season, it will be a disaster.
Yeah, big time.
A disaster.
Well,
so to a Liverpool fan, do they give them the money to invest again in the summer if they don't get Champions League football?
What I would say was it's going to cost the club 60 million to get rid of him in the summer anyway. So, and then you obviously have to pay a new manager to come in instead. So I would say 100%, regardless of where they finish, you still give them the summer, because it's pretty much net negative, I would say, in the amount they're going to cost him to pay out the last 2 years of his contract, where the rumor is that, well, from what I saw during the week, he's 70% sure that he's going to walk out in 2023 to take over the German national team after the Euros. So if there's rumors going around that he's going to walk out to take over the German team after Qatar 2022, well, then I'd be saying, yeah, let him have one more season. Have him
even with that coming out season. As a player, are you not sitting there thinking to yourself, he's not committed to the club? He's talking about leaving here in a year or two.
No, sorry, Paddy. He's never said that. That was the rumor I just said. That was the rumor was going around.
But he has talked about he might he'll finish out his contract, and then that's it. He hasn't talked about going forward on his contract.
Yeah, but Pep has said that since he started his contract as well. There's loads of those managers who don't talk about
but
finishing
Pep hasn't had a
contracts.
bad run. I mean, this is when these type of things start to creep in and they start coming out in the media and stuff, because Pep doesn't have a bad run. He just consistently, he's like a machine, just wins and wins and wins and wins and wins. And that's why he doesn't have to commit, because the fans want him to stay. But right now, Klopp saying, I might finish out my contract, and the fans might say, well, you're doing shit at the moment, so you can feck off and anyway.
Klopp has said he's going to finish out his contract. And the thing about Klopp not finishing his contract came out during the celebrations of winning the league. He said that he would leave in 2024, the night that they had won the trophy, lifted the trophy. So it's not like he's mentioned that on a low as to say, I'm getting the fuck out of here. That was brought up when they were lifting the trophy of winning the Premiership. So it's something that he did at Dortmund as well.
But it's something that
he's done, and I think these managers are at the stage of where, like, this is at the end of the day, it's their contract. It's their contract. The club don't want to renew them, or if they don't see I'm not going to say a challenge there, because obviously there's still a fucking challenge there. Liverpool have a look at the state of it at the moment. But I think his dream is the same as any player's dream. Like, look at Salah. Salah wants to leave the club. We know he's going to leave the club at some stage and go somewhere else because he wants to play for Real Madrid. That's the player's dream. I think his dream is to manage his country.
Sorry, I'm just going to jump in there. Just Erectile Dysfunction again just wants us to read out a question he had there. So he says, lads, how can you have a go at the training regime when it's literally probably the only reason we've been able to challenge an oil-filled Man City? I presume he's referencing obviously buying good players. I understand a lot what you're saying, and LFC fans need something. They need to be more critical.
Yeah. I think the training regime is the issue, not in the past 2 seasons, but you need to understand that the type of football that Klopp plays, it's high intensity, high pressing, it's a lot of sprinting. Like, that's a lot of pressure on your muscles to do on how many games would you play in season? Like 54 odd games if you do good cup competitions. Then think about it as not having a pre-season. Like, your body's not able for the same. You haven't got the same preparation to be able to maintain that. So I think the problem is that Liverpool are creeping in with muscular injuries, which is a sign of overtraining and just doing too much. So I think they need to probably monitor their workload a little bit better from that, in terms of
get physio in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what is the trained physio on in this fucking group? So we will allow him to have his say on that one. So that's going to be.
So, like, they have all the gadgets. They can track how much distance they're running. They can track how much sprints they're doing. They can track really their workload, what they're doing in the gym. There should be no excuse for the amount of muscular injuries that they're getting. Like, you need to have a proper recovery thing. Like, if Conor is saying that they sack their doctor and their medical staff, that's alarm bells to me. I'm like,
doctor, not medical staff.
Or just the doctor.
Did they not move training ground as well? Am I right in saying that? Start the season?
No, in January.
Yeah. Oh, it's only January, was it?
So,
right. Lads, look,
the issue.
So look, I think Waters answered that pretty well. Coming obviously from a professional background himself, so that would answer that one. Lads, we're gonna move off it. I think we definitely will come back to this over the next week or two, because
when they get beaten by Sheffield United.
Yeah. We'll definitely come back to this, because it is definitely one that people are interested in, and like I said, it's caught a bit of attention on
Collie, most important thing, to be getting the extra followers off of it.
We probably have, I'd say, probably the guts of 7,000. And I'm guessing now a couple more. I think. Look, I think obviously we're. What about the bad champions, Mark? I'm just gonna clear this one up.
Just shut up, Melon, will you?
Yeah. So Melon comes up with this. What about the bad champions, Mark? They're literally probably the worst champions I've ever seen, because as soon as they won it and it was mathematically possible, they fucking fell down the fucking drain. So, and they've been falling since.
Must have been all the celebrations.
Yeah, exactly. Lads, we're gonna move on, right? And we're gonna skip Melons Moan this week, unfortunately, because we're an hour and 43 into it. So we just don't have. Do you know what? I'm just gonna do a real quick one, right, lads? I've got a fucking Melons Moan, and see me phone, and see this fucking shit that's going on here. I fucking hate it. I tried to pull the phone out of my pocket there this morning, and I fucking pulled the screen cover off it, and I can't fix it now. So that's the Melons Moan done. Conor, a really quick one on your crypto corner.
Conor had a good one.
No, I was just going to man about lockdown, but it's fine. Crypto corner, Bitcoin is shitting itself at the moment. buy right now. It will go back up. It will be at 100 grand by the end of the year. It's down 15% on normal. Buy Bitcoin right fucking now.
Right, grand. We're going to move on to the last thing of the show, lads, and that is the bets. So, Connor, you have a couple of bets there for me as well, don't you?
Yep.
Paddy, just I want you to talk about your challenge so far, because just give us an update on that.
I'm in the toilet tonight.
So you started the €5 to 1,000 challenge last week, and how's that going for you?
I got up to tonight, which would have brought me up to €150, but the Europa League let me down terribly. So I'm going to start again this weekend.
Love it.
And I'll send you I'll send you my bets this weekend.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up Paddy's bets up on the Instagram.
Who lets it down, Paddy?
Tonight, United and Leicester. And Leicester, yeah.
Leicester as well. Shit.
Yeah. Ollie out, huh?
Yeah.
Ollie out.
Warren, you have a bet for me, do you, Warren? Did you say you had a yes/no bet for us?
Yeah, I have 3 bets for the Chelsea and United game.
Right, go on, you throw us some of them.
So United to win from behind is 14 to 1 on Sky Bet. So 5 will get you 75 back.
Nice one.
Bruno Fernandes to score from outside the area, 10 to 1. So always stick a fiver on that one. Isn't a bad one. And then as a little backup, you also have Tino Werner to score first and either Chelsea to win 2-1 or draw 28 to 1. Werner had a good game during the week. Like, his turns were sharp, but I think he's just missing that little bit of luck. In front of goal. So he could get it this time around.
Cool.
With Harry Maguire, that turns like a bus.
Connor, what have you got for us?
I've got a goal scorers one, a draw one, and then a double chance from the championship for the 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Give us your goal scorer one.
So the goal scorer one is for the Prem games on Saturday, the 3 o'clock kick, or sorry, the after 3 o'clock kickoff. So no early kickoffs in it. So there's only 3. It's only a treble. It'll pay back at 70 to 1. Yeah, and it's Danny Welbeck to score in the West Brom Brighton game, Tyler Roberts to score in the Leeds Villa game, and no goal scorer in the Newcastle Wolves game.
Interesting. I'm going to show you my one here, so I'm just going to share my screen so people can see it. So I have gone with, let me just see, I don't know how that's going to come up. Boom. So I've gone with, this is me Prem one, lads. So I've gone with all the results that I've said in the predictions. So I've gone with City, I've gone with West Brom and Brighton to draw, I've gone with Leeds and Villa to draw, I've gone with Wolves to win, I've gone with Palace to win against Fulham. I think I might have changed that one. Anyway, I've done the bet on it. So I've gone with Palace again. Just price wise, I think they're good. Leicester to beat Arsenal, Spurs to beat Burnley, Chelsea and United to draw. Even though that was the one I actually changed, so I went with Chelsea. So I originally did have it as a draw.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I've just seen all the United fans backing United, so I was like, fuck this. So I'm not having it. Liverpool to beat Sheffield United and Everton to beat Southampton. So lads, that is a €2 bet on that, and that returns 8,200 to €8,200. Connor, I'm interested in your double chance one, but maybe leave it till the end. Go with your other one.
So the other one is a 4 draws. So the 4 draws pays out at 120 to 1. So it's a little bit lower, but they're banker draws, I suppose, is what you say. So I've got Brentford and Stoke to draw, Fleetwood and Accrington Stanley.
Who are they?
Exactly. To draw, Swindon, Northampton, and Newcastle Wolves.
Nice one. And what does that return? Sorry, what was the stake in the returns?
120 to 1.
Nice. I've gone with, let me just throw this back up. I've gone with a 7-fold here, lads. I like this. Some QPR and a good run of form there. They are 6-4 to beat Birmingham. So I've gone with them. I've gone with Brentford to beat Stoke after getting their first win after a while there the weekend. I've gone with Cardiff to beat Middlesbrough again. 9-5, a great price because Cardiff are flying on the Mick McCarthy. 3-4 for Swansea to beat Bristol City. Hull to beat Wimbledon, Peterborough to beat Wigan, and Portsmouth to beat Gillingham. So that one there, lads, a 5 on that will get you back €419.
We
Connor,
lose two of the lads. Or what's the
Yeah.
story?
sorry, they're turning the thing off there, so just taking them out. I'll get them back in obviously anyway before we end up. Connor, give us your scorer one. Or sorry,
No,
your
I gave
little
you my scorer one. I got my double chance one.
chance here.
So the double chance is for all the championship games at 3:00 on Saturday.
Yeah.
So Barnsley Millwall, I've got Barnsley in a draw, double chance. Birmingham QPR, I've got QPR and draw.
Mhm.
Blackburn Coventry, I've got Blackburn and draw. Brentford Stoke, I've got Brentford and draw. Luton Sheffield Wednesday, I've got Luton and draw. Middlesbrough and Cardiff, I've got Middlesbrough and Cardiff, so no draw.
All right.
Preston Huddersfield, I've got Preston and draw. Reading and Rotherham, I've got Reading and draw. And Swansea and Bristol City, I've got Swansea and draw. So that pays back at 9-1.
Jeez, that's not bad. Like when you consider that you've got two of the results there, like on each game. Like,
2 or 3 of all of them. So, and the majority of them I can't pick the draw. So
what stake have you put on that?
you don't want to know.
500 quid.
No, I've put so I'm at the stage now where I can't say too loud. I can't put money in my Paddy Power account because we're going for a mortgage. So I've put €1 on it to pay back $7.50.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice. So the people can do the maths there on that one. Lads, I've got two more bets. Connor, that's your last one, is it?
That's me tradable.
Right, I've got two more just to throw up. So I've got. Sorry, I'm gonna just take this off just to make the screen bigger. Lads, I've done 4 draws, so I've gone with a €2 stake, and I'm getting back 250. So I've gone with West Brom and Brighton to draw. I've gone with Blackburn and Coventry to draw. I've gone with Rotherham and Reading to draw, and I've gone with Ipswich and Doncaster to draw. I'm just throwing it to fucking Sean Connery there myself. Lads, I've got another one. I'll go straight down to it because it's the next one here. I've put this is a lower kind of stake, or not a lower stake, a lower risk one, I think. It's a 7-fold. So I've gone with, this is over 2 days. So I've gone with Bolton to beat Barrow. I've gone with Hibernian to beat Motherwell. I've gone with Hartlepool to beat Barnet. Then on to the Sundays, I've gone with Norwich to beat Wickham, Spurs to beat Burnley, Napoli to beat Benevento, and Leverkusen to beat Freiburg. And that'll get me back €114 from a fiver. So
Your third week in a row betting against Benevento.
I know, yeah, and they drew against Roma last time. So I don't hold much look for that. Lads, there's just one bet I want to show you that I think has a little bit of potential I put on at the start of the season here before we end. This one here, I think it is. So I always do like a couple of bets. Yeah, I always do a couple of bets with a couple of teams to win the league. So I put 5 on this one. So I have Watford to win the championship, Hull to win League 1, Salford to win League 2, and City to win the Prem. I think that's actually not a bad one at the moment when you look at where the teams are. This one here.
Richie Towell is leaving Salford at the end of the season.
Is he? Yeah.
He's going to Shamrock Rovers.
All right, that's a bit of a step down.
Press.
I have that one as well. City, Notts County, Brentford, Salford, and Portsmouth, which actually isn't too bad either. That has a much bigger return on it, $7,000. So, lads, we're gonna call it a day. There, we tried to keep it under an hour, and we've gone to 1 hour and 52 at this stage. So, it's an absolute shit show. What we're going to be doing, lads, is I'm going to throw in on the YouTube, I'm going to be breaking down the section. So if you want to come back to the video and watch a certain section or a certain match we're talking about, I'm going to link it in the description of the video. So it's literally just clicking the button and it'll bring you straight to it.
Everything that Paddy says, you can skip if you want.
You can start that bit.
Yeah. So, lads, look, we're gonna wrap it up. Again, like I said about the Klopp and the Ollie thing, we're gonna take that up next week, lads. Again, just a quick mention before we go about D-Pro guns. We're gonna be putting that up on Instagram, so it's gonna be all over that anyway. So you'll see it there. And again, a big shout out to MCC Custom 72 who has done up these lovely t-shirts for us. So shout out for doing that as well. We'll get you up on the
big up Big Dave at Juve.
Oh, we do have to mention Juve as well, Juve Ireland. So we might have something down the line coming up with Juve as well. So yeah, so it'll be interesting doing that. War's just gone. So Lads, we're gonna wrap up the pod there now. Just before we get under the 2-hour mark. So, lads, thanks for joining me this week. Paddy, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Connor,
Great having
cheers.
a couple of comments coming in as well.
Yeah, it was good. Connor,
Yeah, as always. Cheers, lads.
Water, cheers.
No worries. Always glad to come on.
Lawler, nice one. Talk to you later, right? Right, cheers, lads, and thanks for everyone for watching. And I doubt you're all still here, but anyone that is still here, go and follow us on the Instagram page, Football Bets for You. We'll have all the information up there for the giveaways and stuff like that. So, cheers, lads, and see you next week.